Hello. It's wonderful to be back and for another live stream session here. Um, I would like to, let you to invite you to the next round. I have lots of questions I've received, and I would like to answer these for you. The first one is from Mario Skylight. What a special name! Um, he tells me that music for him is a quiet sanctuary, far from the eyes of the world, and he feels that our music is like a journey to places of his past, his future, but always grounding him in the present moment. Yes, Mario, this is a very wonderful question to start because music is the pure essential representations of the present and now. That is really what music can do for us, to bring us right into the center of the now. That is essential of music. That's its essence. And only the now, and that's the point, only the now is real. All what's important for you and for me, for all of us, is in the now. Only in the now. So let's take, for instance, healing. You can only take healing can only take place in the now. You can't heal someone in the past or someone in the future. It has to happen here and now. Or you can't have a sexual experience without being in the now. In the past, it's not possible, and in the future, you never know, but it's not real. But in our perception, in our thoughts, we mostly are either in the past or in the future. The past is the memory, not more. And the future is a projection. It's not real, both. Um, a musical note that has already been played, for instance, cannot be heard anymore. It's only a memory. A note that not yet has been played can not be heard either. It's only a possibility. Doesn't even have to occur, that note. When really listening to music, I mean, not analytically, when you let yourself immerse in the sound, when you drown in the music, in the field of vibration and resonance, that is when music unfolds its real power. All we ever wanted with our music, I must say, is to create an experience in your now and in ours, an experience of peace and hope and of joy and love, all of the things that we really, really deeply would hope for, so that when the music stops, you will remember these feelings and you go out strong and motivated only to change the world. I know it sounds really, it's great words, but I really think that's music can be the place to recharge your energy and motivation and your hope. The next question is from Fortik. I have no idea how to pronounce this. He wants to know if our record company for CDs and vinyl is planning to release the rest of our albums. Thanks for the question, but my friend, I wasn't aware that there are some albums missing on CD, though not all of the albums were released on vinyl. That I know. But I will certainly check if there is somewhere another album laying around. Thanks for asking, for reminding me. And then here we have David McKenzie. David tells us that when he has heard the music, our music at the radio for the first time in the mid-'80s, he's found his music. That's how he says it. It's, of course, very touching. He has also been at two of our concerts in Seattle when he thanked me personally. Even after the concert, we were talking together, and he personally thanked me for the music. Dear David, what can I say? I'm a grandfather now, and I am the one who has to feel deeply grateful for this life, for my path on the wings of this music. It's me that I have to say thank you. In reality, I owe my deepest gratitude to my instrument, actually, the harp, and for the musical path it has opened for me and has allowed me to be a messenger to so many people all over this beautiful blue planet over almost a half of a century. I mean, it's incredible. I know I look incredibly young. Joke. So come on. What can I say? I thank you. The next guest here on our live stream is an old friend of mine, Tariq Koray. My goodness, this message is a very big surprise. He lives in Turkey and is a passionate music man. I hope you are doing fine, Tariq. In your question, you are referring to music as a way to eliminate time and deeply connect to people in a mode of kind of a timelessness, so that you always feel connected. Well, that really hits the nail on the head, actually. Inspired by one of the earlier questions, we've already reflected on music to be the purest representation of the now. Music can only be experienced in the now. Even when listening to a historic recording, the actual listening event happens only in the now. But here is the beauty. The now is a synonym for eternity. And that is not just hocus pocus. We live in a time when even hard science had to reconsider the concept of time as a construction of our perception, our mind, to create a world in which we can function that is tailor-made for our senses and all of our other faculties. When we think of one another, it is the mysterious consciousness which connects us deeply in this wonderful imaginary way. But Tariq, I would also love to see you again in person one day. Then we have Roland Böske. Roland, du hast mir in Deutsch geschrieben. Verzeih mir, wenn ich in Englisch antworte, aber es wird nach ein paar Stunden ja eine Version geben mit deutschen Untertiteln. Well, Roland is wondering whether musical elements from earlier songs and albums will reappear in later works. And if yes, if this is intentional, like a red thread through the music, or it is coincidental. Well, Roland, it is both actually. But there is also another reason behind. When you create your own musical language, it is hopefully very much an expression of your personality, your history, your values, your taste, and your identity. But a language always needs a storyteller, a story, or it's dead. Now, over time, certain essential elements and aspects of the storytellers would reappear once in a while. That's natural. This happens especially when music is based on a form of improvisation, like in our case. These quotes, musical quotes, make us creators somehow feel at home with the music. If these quotes never occur in music, I would actually worry and think it could just be a construction, this music, and not something coming from deep inside. Then we have another question from Meer Freiheit, M-E-E-R, Meer, ocean. Salut mehr Freiheit. You referred to the Dream concert in 2010 and whether we are thinking of releasing this video too. Just a few days after this concert that you were referring to, we played the same anniversary show at the Montreux Jazz Festival with even some additional guests. And that is why we have decided to release this Montreux concert instead of the other one. You must understand all the editing and mixing of such a concert with so many musicians, and it takes just a lot of work, and it is frankly quite expensive. So I hope you understand we made that choice. Now I have another friend. Wow. The Blue Harp Man, Lil Harp. Dear Lee Harp and dear friend, you are in my thoughts a lot, and my heart is heavy too. I would like to read your post to not miss anything. Regards to my friend, he writes, mentor, and thank you for sharing this gem, that song that was posted yesterday. I can tell you firsthand, it is an especially challenging and stressful period here in the United States. For many, it feels like it's all falling apart. We all need our own something that is an escape. For me, it has been the harp that your music guided me to discover. We need the arts in every form, possibly more than ever before. If more people were able to discover that thing within them, I'm positive we would be much better off. So keep spreading the word. I will, promised. There are two ways of escaping, and it's important to make that differentiation. One is the collapse of all hope and vision, to stick your head in the sand like the ostrich does, and step out of the community, collapse. And the other is a more temporary recreational escape, to prevent yourself from breaking apart, but to regain strength, motivation, and hope, vision, only to get out again from that safe place, recreational place, to go out again strong and determined. And the remedies of success that happens then is solidarity, connection, confidence, generosity. It has always worked that way. Remember, at the end of the Second World War, the main factor was solidarity. I mean, there was a lot of other stuff going on too that we mostly don't even know about. But solidarity was the strong drive. The most powerful rule of nature, solidarity. But it also works on a much smaller scale. There's a beautiful nursery rhyme that I use a lot, which says it perfectly. Little drops of water, little grains of sand, make the mighty ocean and the beautiful land. So it requires every one of us, everyone. So we may feel as small as very small, but it requires all of us. So there is no way around that. So if you feel, as soon as you feel a bit stronger again, we need to connect with people who step out into the light too, and and express solidarity and change the world. And that's where you will find me. Then there's Thomas from Poland. You would like to know if we ever are going to release these treasures of the archives, the posts that we do on Wednesday. Thomas, thanks for the question. Frankly, I don't know. You would be surprised how little of our activities is the result of concrete plans or strategies. In our organization, Andreas Vollenweider and Friends, we do not have something like a marketing department. This is our learning that making plans is only to amuse the gods. So it's a bit tempting, though, to be thinking of releasing these concerts, because some of them I even myself I've completely forgotten when I was watching. Wow, I loved most of it. And so it's a bit tempting. We will see. We will tell you. And then we have Alana Tolstad. Alana Tolstad. Hi. You were wondering how we musicians can memorize so much music who without using music sheet music. It may be a bit special in our case. Our music consists of song elements like cornerstones, of like beats in a chain, and there are the parts between. These parts take up most of the time of the song and are almost entirely free, improvised. We call this thematic improvisation. After such an open part, it feels right. When it feels right, we intuitively return to the cornerstones, and from there we go off again. So we actually only need to memorize these cornerstones. It's pretty clever. The music is kept simple, not just because of that, but it leaves more space to come up with new ideas. Sometimes we create complete new parts in the midst of an actual song. We kept the music also simple because we want to, the priority has the collective creativity. And that should be the driving force for everything we're doing. So that is the reason why there's not so much memory work we have to do. Okay. Wow. Thank you for your interest and for your questions and comments. And I would like to try next time to activate the chat function. This time I still needed to find out how to do this, reading at the same time as speaking and looking at you. And so I'm learning. I'm learning though. Okay. Have a wonderful rest of the evening or the morning. It depends from where you're watching our live streams. And be well and be motivated. Even if it looks dark, when you turn around once, you don't even have to make a full turn. You will always find something that is wonderful, that is beautiful, that is energy, that is love. Yes.